a new first round mock draft now that most of the pro days are done. I think Drake May, his pro day will be later on today, Thursday, the 28th. So we're going to get into a first round mock draft. I'm going to try to do this in under 20 minutes. So I'm going to be going kind of fast. I'm going to be picking for every team. I will predict trades, predict draft picks. Yes, there will be some wow moments in this mock draft. Probably going to tick some people off, but oh well, this is what I think is going to happen at this time. And it's the time to be controversial. It's early in the process. We're only about a month away, a little less than a month away. Let's get it started. So first pick, Caleb Williams to the Chicago Bears. Right? Wrong. I'm trading it. I don't think the Bears are going to trade Caleb Williams, not because they don't want him. I don't think he wants to play in Chicago. That's just what I think. Let me just put it like that. I think he would rather play in Washington. I think it'll come down to the day of the draft, and then a trade will happen. One team will buckle, whether that be Washington, give up what the Bears want, or the Bears just take what Washington is willing to give them because they're not going to trade. They're not going to draft Williams anyway. And I think that's been the holdup with the whole process in the Chicago Bears. So we're going to make the trade. Second and a fifth to move one spot. Boom. Everybody gets their hometown hero. So Caleb goes to the Commanders, and the Bears, in a splash, in a surprise, they take JJ McCarthy. I know it's going to make some people mad, but that's my prediction because it's a business and jersey sales is a thing, and McCarthy is from LaGrange, Illinois. And I think that's what the Bears are going to do. Anyway, New England, third pick. Now, this is an interesting spot. New England could trade back instead of taking their quarterback right now. They do need a quarterback. I think they're going to take their quarterback, and that quarterback is going to be, even though he had a rough pro day, some people say it's going to be Jaden Daniels. They have Jacoby Brissett as the veteran there. Similar playing style to Jaden Daniels. I think they'll use the Brissett as a bridge quarterback to get Daniels up to speed and have a dynamic quarterback for the New England Patriots. Former Heisman Trophy winner, current Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels out of LSU. Arizona Cardinals could just take Marvin Harrison here. They will listen to trades, but I don't think they're going to be the team to make the trade. I think they just draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and move on about their merry way. The Chargers, here's where the trade happens. Why? Because I think they're going to target offensive line. I know they need receiver as well, but I think offensive line is going to be the move. So we're going to trade. This is where Minnesota gets jazzy and comes up. Drake May is still on the board. They have connections through Josh McCown to Drake May. Josh McCown is their quarterback coach, I believe. So let's get it going here. Why don't they have the LA Chargers up here first? LA Chargers, Minnesota Vikings. They're just moving back 6 spots. This is going to be interesting here because I didn't realize Minnesota doesn't have any freaking draft picks. So probably a 4th and a 5th this year, number 2 next year. We'll get it done. I don't think that second first round pick comes into play. It could, but to only move up 6 spots. If they were going to trade with the Bears, that will come into play. That's a possibility still. I doubt that. I don't know if the Bears want to do that or the Vikings want to trade interdivisionally like that. Give the Bears 3 first round picks. That would be risky on both parties. But next year draft capital, I think, is what comes into this trade here. The Chargers will still get who they want, I believe. So boom, make that trade, and Drake May is the pick for the Vikings. Giants, Malik Neighbors. Enough said. Not even gonna get into that. Daniel Jones is gonna be their quarterback. Tennessee. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. Tennessee could take a wide receiver, but they signed Calvin Ridley, so Joe Alt next to the Northwestern kid gives them a very dominant left side on the offensive line. Atlanta receiver. They could use receiver. Roma Dunze technically is the best player, I would say, left on the board. He and Brock Bowers. But Atlanta is going to need a pass rusher. Dallas Turner is the pick for Atlanta. Chicago Bears at number 9. Do they trade back? They traded back with Washington. I believe that's what they're going to do. Offensive line, Olufashanu. Is he better than Braxton Jones? I think that's questionable with the small hands. Jared Verse, defensive end. They need him very badly. Bears take Jared Verse. New York Jets, offensive line. Tyron Smith. Yes, they got Tyron Smith. He is 59 years old, so he might not play the whole season, but he will be a great mentor for Olufashanu at left tackle for the New York Jets to protect Aaron Rodgers and his Achilles. So here we go. We got the Chargers. They're here. Now they could use wide receiver in Rome Odunze. But right tackle Trey Pipkins, he's terrible. And they're going to want to lean on their offensive line. I think Jim Harbaugh made some comments about it. And it could have been a smokescreen, but I don't think it was. Wide receiver was very deep in this draft. Talisi Fuaga is the pick for the Chargers at the right tackle, giving them probably the best offensive line in the NFL. Denver Broncos need a quarterback. Quarterback's not going to be here. They don't have really enough ammunition to trade up unless they get into trading future first-round picks. I don't think they'll do that. I think Sean Payton trusts himself to develop a quarterback later in the draft. When I get into the later rounds, I will draft Denver's quarterback and who I think they're targeting. Kenyon Mitchell, best cornerback available, probably best football player available on the defensive side. That's who they take. Vegas Raiders also could use a quarterback, but Gardner Minshew and O'Connell, I think they're willing to go with that for one season. I don't think Jaden Daniels will be in their range. I know that's who they probably want. So opposite Justin Jackson, or Justin Jackson, where'd I get that from? Justin Jones, Terrion Arnold is the cornerback. New Orleans Saints. Now the Saints need offensive line help. They could also use a receiver. I don't know if they pass up Rome Odunze. They got A.T. Perry. They got a lot of receivers. Derek Carr does need all the help he can get. I know Rome Odunze is falling on down the board here. People were so excited about him being selected. So I think Ramczyk, if I'm not mistaken, the tackle Ramczyk could not or will not be playing this season. He got some bad injury news. So this could be a trade back spot for the Saints where they could still get a tackle later, but J.C. Latham is like right there for them. So Rome Odunze continues to fall. I know people are yelling at me right now saying that's not going to happen, but somebody falls every year. So yeah, they got to protect Derek Carr. They have enough receivers. The Colts definitely need a receiver, but they also need Brock Bowers. What do they need more? With Anthony Richardson, this is a tough one. I'm going to be honest. This is a tough one. What do I think they will do? This is interesting. I'm going to say that the Colts, I'm going to agree with the simulator here, and I say the Colts take Bowers in this spot. Seattle Seahawks, for the most part, don't need a receiver. Seattle loves pass rushers for some reason, but I don't think they take a pass rusher. I'm just going to be honest. They really need interior offensive line very badly, so this is a trade back spot for sure. So I tell you what, we're going to make a trade. I think a team is going to move up as Rome Odunze falls in this draft, and that team will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Pittsburgh will move up with Seattle. Seattle will go back a little bit, as I'm sure they're targeting a young player. Pittsburgh has 2/3. They're going to throw them their highest third to get up and get Rome Odunze. Seattle trades back a few slots. Pittsburgh is on the clock. They draft Rome Odunze. No questions asked. Jacksonville's on the clock. Jacksonville could use a lot of things. I think they need cornerback the most, though, so I'll go with Nate Wiggins over Cooper DeJean. They need a pure corner. Now we go to the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, they signed Trent Brown on that O-line, but O-line is their biggest problem, and I think Trent Brown is the perfect person to mentor the mammoth Amarius Mims. So Mims is a pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, they could use Byron Murphy as well to replace DJ Reader, but yeah, I think they go tackle because they can't have Joe Burrow getting hurt again. So Marius Mims is the pick there. Now we are at the LA Rams. Byron Murphy is our Aaron Donald replacement. That's very simple. Seattle now gets to probably get their man. Now I know people Latu. Seattle has like 4 pass rushers who all have potential. Pass rush is not their problem. Interior offensive line probably will be. Geno Smith is older, cannot get out the way. Jackson Powers Johnson is the pick to Seattle. They need interior line. He can play center or either guard position. The Miami Dolphins need to replace Christian Wilkins, and Johnny Newton, Jazon Newton out of Illinois, will be able to do that and start right away. The Philadelphia Eagles, now there are no Georgia players available for them, so this pick gets a little hard. But they need secondary help. We know their secondary is Toast Patterson-esque. Latu would also be an option here because Hassan Reddick is on the trade block. I don't think they trade Hassan Reddick though. I think that was just, they hoped to, but I doubt that it happened. So Cooper DeJean to help that secondary, along with Gardner Johnson. They need to shore up that secondary. It was a big problem for them last year. The Minnesota Vikings with their second pick. Boy, I don't know. Where does Minnesota go? I was on a roll there. It's kind of stopped me in my tracks. Minnesota, we have our quarterback in Drake May. Do we take wide receiver to go with Justin Jefferson? Or do they go defense? Latu is the pick here for Minnesota. They lost Danielle Hunter. Latu, yeah, with Jonathan Grenard would be a dangerous pass rush tandem. The Dallas Cowboys, offensive line. They definitely need offensive line. Do they take Troy Fautanu? Not the prototypical lineman. He's the better lineman in my opinion, but I don't think they take him. I think they take the kid out of Oklahoma, Tyler Guyton, instead to play left tackle, even though Fautanu can also play left tackle. Green Bay Packers, they could take offensive line, although their young offensive linemen are developing pretty well. Secondary is where they need some help. I'm going to go Kool-Aid McKinstry for the Packers. That cornerback spot. Their corners tend to get torched. Tampa Bay Buccaneers need an outside rusher. Chop Robinson in that defense will do pretty well. Arizona Cardinals with their second pick also need defensive line help. And we're going to go... They could take... I took Marvin Harrison, right? Yeah, okay. They could go tackle as well, because DJ Humphries is coming off injury. Can't remember if they signed a tackle. I'm thinking they signed the guy from the Bengals, Jonah Williams. So even though they have them, they have Paris Johnson, Jonah Williams. Do they take a chance on a rookie tackle to help? Fautanu can also kick to the inside. You want to protect Kyler Murray, but you also want to have... Yeah, I'm going to take Fautanu for the Cardinals. They're going to bolster that offensive line in front of Kyler Murray, if he's still a quarterback. Now he's on the trade block all of a sudden. Buffalo Bills. This is an easy one. Depending on who they want, I'm taking Brian Thomas Jr. for Buffalo. Passing attack. Dangerous. And they can probably quit listening to... their number one wide receiver complain all the damn time and ship him off if need be. Detroit Lions, Darius Robinson, Bears rookie quarterback, NFC quarterbacks, beware as they get some help opposite Aiden Hutchinson. That's going to make the Lions dangerous, but it's probably going to happen. Baltimore Ravens, this is going to be Adonai Mitchell for sure. Downfield bombs all day with Lamar Jackson. San Francisco 49ers, this is going to be offensive line. Graham Barton, They need the interior help more than they need Jordan Morgan. Jordan Morgan is a very good left tackle though. But Graham Barton is the pick there. He'll start right away. Kansas City Chiefs, last pick. Xavier Worthy, Kenyon Coleman. Where do I get Kenyon Mitchell? Keon Coleman, Xavier Worthy, Ladd McConkey. It's going to be between these three. I think Worthy, that speed in that Chiefs offense is just too good to pass up. And since Carolina didn't have a first round pick, I will do their pick as well, and that's Keon Coleman. Need a big target, contested catch guy for Bryce Young. And that will do it for the first round. Now we'll continue this in another video, but let me know what you think of this first round. I'm going to do a recap right quick. So now we do a quick recap. Bears trade out of the first pick for the second pick with Washington. They get pick number 36 and 139. Chargers trade back with Minnesota. Minnesota moves up. I'm not going to harp on the trade values because it's hard to get real trade values in these simulators. But Seattle is another team I think moves back. Pittsburgh moves up for a wide receiver with their two new quarterbacks. And we have Caleb Williams drafted by Justin. Caleb Williams drafted by the Commanders. Bears, JJ McCarthy. Both hometown kids go home, and they sell a lot of jerseys for these two franchises. One trying to build a new stadium, one trying to start it with a new ownership. They're gonna go after that money. I'm just remember where you heard it first. Sorry. Jaden Daniels to the Patriots to learn under Jacoby Brissett. Hopefully change it up in New England with their quarterback position and their offense there. Marvin Harrison Jr. gets to be Kyler Murray's #1 weapon there. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be quite the duo there. Minnesota Vikings come up. They get Drake May. They get their quarterback. Justin Jefferson hopefully signs that extension with them. Malik Neighbors to the Giants. They get a weapon for Danny Dimes. Good luck, Danny. And the New York Giants fans. Tennessee gets Joe Alt, bosses that offensive line. Tennessee has had one of my favorite off seasons thus far as improving their team. Look out for them to threaten for the playoffs, and I'm serious about that. Will Levis may be able to get it done. Dallas Turner to the Atlanta Falcons, edge rusher. Atlanta Falcons, another team that has improved greatly in this offseason. Look for them to, especially on defense, to be a problem. Especially if it falls this way, they get Dallas Turner. They're going to be a problem on defense. Jared Verse to the Bears. The Bears also, if the draft falls this way, they get their quarterback, they get a pass rusher. Hopefully later in the draft, they get offensive line help. Bears could do some things, though I'm not as high on them as I was before they kind of messed up the offseason. But anyway, the Jets, Olufashanu protect Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? The Jets, it all depends on Aaron Rodgers and his Achilles, I guess. LA Chargers, Jim Harbaugh probably won't make the playoffs this season, but look out for the Chargers in the future, as Harbaugh just knows how to get it done. He wins wherever he goes. Kenyon Mitchell to the Broncos, rebuilding team. Great piece. Best cornerback in the draft for them. Raiders, Terrion Arnold. Raiders will probably threaten to make the playoffs. They're going to be an inspired group. Their defense is probably going to be top 5. We'll see what they do with that offense and the Bears' ex-offensive coordinator. Saints, J.C. Latham. Saints will always be around a 500 team at least, and we'll see what they do. Brock Bowers with Anthony Richardson. That's going to be something to watch. Colts may be on the rise too. They almost made the playoffs last year. But look out for the Colts. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Roma Dunze falls to the Steelers. I mean, this is how things happen for the Steelers anyway. So, Steelers back in the playoffs, threatening for the Super Bowl. Absolutely. Nate Wiggins to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Good luck, Jacksonville. I don't know what to make of Jacksonville at this point. Cincinnati Bengals and Marius Mims, they get some real protection for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow stays healthy. They're going to be challenging for the Super Bowl. I know they lost a couple pieces, but they also gained some. Sheldon Rankins is a good replacement for Reader. Bengals will be in the mix in the AFC. Rams are in the midst of starting over. Byron Murphy will be a good replacement though for the great Aaron Donald. Seattle gets some offensive line help. Seattle, another probably 500 team. We'll see what they do. They got to figure it out there. Miami Dolphins, Johnny Newton. That will be help for their defense, but they the cap situation kind of kept them in place. So they just got to hope for some development out of their younger players. Philadelphia Eagles gets help for their secondary. This should push them, the improvements that they made on defense, as well as the draft picks that they've had the past couple drafts. If those guys develop properly like they're supposed to, the Eagles should be back towards the top of the NFC. We'll see how that works out though. New coaching staff as well in Philadelphia. That should help them out a lot. The Vikings get Laiatu Latu. Vikings, probably not going to make the playoffs, but they'll be good. We'll see. The NFC Central is going to be interesting. The Lions still, I think, hold the keys to that though. Dallas Cowboys get Tyler Guyton. Go Cowboys. I don't know what they're not going to re-sign Dak. Who knows? I think they're going to be a mess. But anyway, Green Bay Packers, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Packers will probably make the playoffs yet again. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That division is up for grabs. Tampa Bay could come out and win that division again. Chop Robinson will help with that. They have a very athletic defense. Him, Elijah Cansey, yeah. Troy Fatanu to the Cardinals. Cardinals on the rise, not there yet. Healthy Kyler Murray will make them dangerous though. Buffalo Bills, Brian Thomas Jr. At some point, Buffalo, you gotta get over the hump. You gotta figure it out. The Chiefs and the Bengals are going to be a problem though, and the Ravens as well. Darius Robinson to the Lions. Lions are probably going to win the AFC North yet again. Adney Mitchell to the Ravens. Ravens, just don't choke. Just don't choke. You guys will be in the Super Bowl. This year, stay who you are. Run that football. Play action. Downfield. Adney Mitchell will be there to catch the ball. Ravens, Lamar, let's get it done. Super Bowl, I'm rooting for y'all. 49ers, Graham Barton. 49ers seem to have a culture issue, so I'm not sure that they make it back to a deep playoff run this year again. They got to figure some things out, especially if IU gets traded, but Graham Barton will help protect Brock Purdy. Chiefs getting Xavier Worthy is kind of not fair, but hey, things happen, and the Chiefs are going for the three-peat. Very dangerous weapon. And the Panthers, who didn't have a first round pick, I'll just do Keon Coleman. The Panthers could surprise this season. They've made some very shrewd moves to improve their team. I like what the Panthers have done. So Keon Coleman will definitely help Bryce Young develop a lot more and have a very good sophomore season, I believe. So there's that first round mock. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Thank you for, as always, for watching Draft Capital Sports. It is late at night and I'm stumbling, and we out. Peace.